So get the there, country motherfucker. You own Costco?
No.
Do you own Nova Scotia? Do you own Nova Scotia? Because you're going right with them.
Do you?
You get your boyfriend and you're going right with them. You make a complaint. We're killing every one of you here soon. Every one of you. You wait. We're killing every one of you.
Go on down to and report it.
Time, and you can leave, or you can put up with it, because you're all dying.
This video is enraging. Luckily, we have a good end result here.
Yeah, that one from Halifax, Nova Scotia, where a guy was in a Costco yelling at initially somebody in a hijab, I believe, but then he just started like yelling at people, making some pretty significant threats. Halifax police put out a bulletin, and they were looking for him, and when I posted about him, I had a name almost immediately. He himself didn't have any socials, but some of his family did, and there were some older images of him on there. I passed the information along to law enforcement. I definitely was not the only person who contacted them, but he was, in fact, identified, arrested, and charged. He being Randall Byron Publicover, he is facing charges of public incitement of hatred, assault, 4 counts of uttering threats to cause bodily harm or death, 2 counts of mischief, resisting a peace officer, and possession of a weapon dangerous to public peace. The reason that I didn't put his name out there before was, one, I knew that law enforcement were actively looking for him and had his information, and I knew that this wouldn't take very long. But 2, the people who reached out to me knew of him personally and told me that he was in a bad car accident some time back and had a traumatic brain injury. Doesn't justify what he did, doesn't make it okay. Still means he has to face the consequences of his actions. But I didn't want to send the masses out there looking for him when all we wanted to do was have police find him, arrest him, and charge him. So
Tizzy was on the case until the news broke.
Yeah, this involves Randall Byron Publicover, who essentially appeared in that courtroom a little earlier on today. It was a brief appearance. We believe he is going to deny or plead not guilty to all the charges he has faced, but he has been released on bail. Let's talk you through some of the bail conditions that have been put in place for this suspect. They include a financial obligation, as you can see, of $2,000 there. In addition to that, he's not allowed to possess any firearm, crossbow, or a prohibited weapon or restricted weapon. And also, he is not allowed to go within 50 metres of the Costco in Halifax, or indeed any mosque or Islamic community centre in and around the Halifax area.
The police would say during the arrest, the man brandished a weapon and officers deployed a conductive energy weapon. He was treated on scene by EHS and medically cleared. The 37-year-old is set to appear in court. The list of charges: public incitement of hatred, assault, 4 counts of uttering threats to cause bodily harm or death, 2 counts of mischief, resist peace officer, possession of a weapon dangerous to public peace. It follows a very troubling trend that we have seen throughout the world at this point.
And this is happening at a time where we're continuously reporting on a rise in hate-related crimes and a degree of racism that seems to be increasing, at least publicly. Talk to us about that and what you're hearing.
Yeah, it's very clear that when you look at that video and elsewhere, these are not necessarily isolated incidents, that there has been an increase, it seems, in what the police term hate-motivated incidents. If you look at the stats, we've got some stats, I think, from Statistics Canada, and they show that increase actually over the last couple of years, most notably in 2023, when Nova Scotia had the highest of any province in Canada. Even in 2024, it had slipped back, thankfully, a bit, but it was still the second highest in the country. And unsurprisingly, communities in Nova Scotia are concerned about all of this.
Halifax Regional Municipality wanted to make it known. Crimes and incidents motivated by hate are taken very seriously. If someone finds themselves exposed to behavior that is offensive, threatening, or intimidating, they are encouraged to report it to police. Even if an investigation does not find criminal wrongdoing, it's important to have it on the record. I agree. And sadly, it continues to this very day.
Sorry,
If I can't understand you, it is, right?
You don't need to understand me, sir.
Why not?
I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking
Well,
to my
you're
mother.
speaking to me now. You chose to.
Because you
You
said
chose to.
I needed to speak English.
You
And you
chose
didn't
to.
know if I spoke English or Spanish.
Whatever.
We're not Americans.
You don't look it.
Oh, we don't.
No? You don't
Wow,
act it.
we don't look Americans, you're
Americans
saying.
would have done that. No?
So we don't
No.
belong here.
You would have waited. You would have waited for me to move.
Wow.
So who do you think you look like?
I don't know.
You don't look like American either.
Yeah,
We're not
The
Americans.
Americans,
Wow.
the real Americans, you're not.
really. Neither
So
you.
you're telling me that I'm not
So you're
American?
American because you're blonde hair?
You're
No,
telling me
your
that I'm not
attitude is
American?
bad.
Yeah.
It's
You
very
are
bad.
telling me that I'm not
Wow.
American.
I actually am an immigrant.
Really?
I am. And I have a baby here.
You're a.
I have a baby here.
Listen.
I'm
this is-
waiting for her to leave. You can pull that way like
Listen, I
everybody
don't
else,
care
sir.
if you
Why
have
are you
a
in my
baby.
face?
I don't
have
care
a baby
if
here.
you have a baby.
Sir,
I
I'm
don't
trying to
care.
park right here.
People are
Don't
trying to
call me an
move.
immigrant. Actually, I am an immigrant. I'm
You're-
not
what
American.
you
I'm
are
an
is a
immigrant. You're the one coming over here. Look at you. I'm going to post you on social media. You're disgusting. I hope you lose your job for talking to me that way. You angry man. And I am an immigrant. And I am. So you know, you disgusting.
So, what exactly do I mean by that? In a lot of ways, especially politically, the United States is serving as a blueprint for politics throughout the world. We have seen how this rise of fascism, this anti-immigrant sort of chatter percolate throughout, and it hasn't been curbed. The opposition party can put out mean tweets. They could say one thing, but they haven't done enough. And when you have both of those worlds colliding, the fascism will win, and they will eat up the opposition party. That is what's happening right now. We have seen it in Italy with Meloni. We saw it in Brazil with Jair Bolsonaro, who, ironic or not, sought refuge in the United States of America, specifically Ron DeSantis' Florida. Speaking of, Bibi Netanyahu's kids live in a mansion, or rather a highly expensive condo in Miami, Florida. I mean, we just keep seeing this over and over again. And the only way to meet this moment is not a liberal movement. It is a leftist movement. It is a working class movement that will stomp out all of this sort of stuff, because this is not the way. They continue blaming immigrants. It is simply just the new flavor that they desire. This is their targeted attacks. They have tried this with different groups over the years, and they've just landed back on immigrants and trans people. And if we unite, it won't work. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports, and or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.